The official record of Grand Slam history often reads like a sanitized press release, but the true evolution of the sport isn't found in the trophies or the polite applause on center court. It is written in the shattered graphite of smashed rackets, the sharp exchange of words at the net, and the cold stares directed toward the umpire's chair that changed the game forever. What the public sees as a momentary lapse in judgment is often a calculated explosion or a breaking point that forces the governing bodies to rewrite the very laws of the game. From the 2026 Mercedes-Benz Premier Partner era back to the earliest days of the Open era, these meltdowns have acted as the primary catalysts for the technical and ethical shifts we see today. Before we peel back the layers of these historic confrontations and look at the HawkVISION traces that prove how close these players were to the edge, you need to understand that the official tour highlights won't show you the audio from the umpire's chair or the full transcript of the fallout. We have tracked the receipts and the rulebook loopholes that these moments exposed. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications to join our courtside investigation before this footage is claimed, because we are diving deep into the tactical warfare that happens when the polite veneer of professional tennis finally snaps. To understand the weight of a modern meltdown, we have to look at the spark. Every historic explosion starts with a single point, a perceived injustice, or a tactical provocation that goes ignored by the officials until it is too late. In the current 2026 season, the stakes have never been higher with the introduction of the performance-weighted ranking system, where a single outburst can lead to a point penalty that doesn't just cost a game, but thousands of dollars in potential prize money and crucial positioning for the WTA Finals. When we look back at the most seismic meltdowns in history, they often follow a specific pattern of escalation. It begins with the body language in the player's box. The coach's reaction is the smoking gun. A frantic gesture or a stony silence often dictates whether a player will reel it in or let the rage consume them. In the high-stakes environment of a Grand Slam, this isn't just emotion, it is a psychological weapon used to freeze an opponent's momentum. When a player begins to argue a call or takes an extended tactical break, they are effectively resetting the rhythm of the match. The context of these meltdowns is rooted in the bad blood that simmers long before the players even step onto the court. Take the historical head-to-head records into account. When two players have a history of tight three-set battles where the margins are decided by a few points, the tension is a ticking time bomb. A refusal to shake hands at the net or a cold glare during a changeover isn't just a lack of sportsmanship, it is a declaration of tactical war. In the 2026 context, with HawkVISION providing immersive real-time data to fans, the receipts are undeniable. We can see the exact millisecond a player's heart rate spikes, or the precise angle of a ball that the umpire called out, but the technology showed was in by a hair's breadth. These technological advancements were born out of the chaos of the past. The implementation of electronic line calling wasn't a natural progression of the sport. It was a desperate necessity created by decades of high-profile meltdowns where human error led to catastrophic ranking fallouts. When we analyze the ranking math, the true cost of these meltdowns becomes clear. A player who loses their cool and subsequently the match doesn't just lose that day, they can drop 10 to 15 spots in the rankings depending on the round. This affects their seeding for the rest of the season and their path to the year-end championships. The pressure to maintain a top 10 position in the 2026 era, where the gap between world number 5 and world number 20 is thinner than ever, makes every outburst a calculated risk. Is the medical timeout a genuine physical need or a tactical freeze? The rulebook defines it as a break for an acute medical condition, but players have mastered the art of using these breaks as a mental reset. By slowing down the match, they force their opponent to sit in their own thoughts, cooling their muscles and their momentum. This is the hidden tension behind the polite tennis veneer. The historical meltdowns we remember most are those that forced the WTA and ATP to intervene, whether it was the introduction of the Code of Conduct fines or the refining of the hindrance rule. These moments changed the fabric of the sport. We see it in the way coaches are now allowed to communicate from the box, a direct result of years of shadow coaching and the drama it caused. The player's box has become a secondary character in the broadcast, with cameras lingering on the coach's face to catch the smoking gun of a coaching violation. This transparency is a direct response to the secret splits and internal team tensions that used to remain behind closed doors until they exploded on the court. Looking at the hot mic audio from recent 2026 tournaments, the transparency has reached a new level. We hear the raw frustration, the pleas to the umpire, and the occasional strategic rant designed to intimidate the linespeople. These are not just outbursts, they are attempts to influence the environment. When a player questions the integrity of a call, they are putting the official on notice for the rest of the match. It's a ruthless, high-speed game of chess where the pieces are made of nerves and physical endurance. The receipts don't lie. The players who master their meltdowns or learn how to use them to their advantage are often the ones who find themselves holding the trophy at the end of the fortnight. The handshake drama is perhaps the most visible sign of this underlying friction. In the modern era, a no handshake policy or a drive-by at the net is a headline-making event, but it serves a deeper purpose. It signals to the tour and the fans that the rivalry is genuine. It creates a narrative that the WTA utilizes to drive engagement and ticket sales. However, for the players, it is the ultimate sign of a bridge burned. The ranking fallout from these rivalries is significant. When two top-tier players refuse to acknowledge each other, it creates a dead zone in the draw where tension can derail entire tournaments. We saw this in the lead-up to the 2026 clay court season, where a series of coaching splits and public disagreements led to a reshuffling of the top five. As we look toward the future of the sport, the insider prediction is that these meltdowns will only become more frequent as the financial and ranking pressures increase. The 2026 season has already seen a record number of fines for unsportsmanlike conduct, but the irony is that these moments are what drive the viral breakdown culture. Fans don't just want to see great tennis, they want to see the human element, the breaking point where a professional athlete becomes a person driven by pure, unadulterated passion or frustration. The unseen history of these meltdowns is the true history of tennis evolution. It is a story of how a gentleman's game became a high-intensity billion-dollar industry where every emotion has a price tag. In the end, the truth behind a ranking collapse or a sudden coaching split is rarely found in the official statements. It is found in the hawk eye traces that show a player's accuracy dropping as their temper rises. It is found in the box dynamics, where a parent or coach's body language tells the story of a relationship in frail fall. And it is found in the rulebook, which continues to evolve in a desperate attempt to keep pace with the players who are always looking for a new way to gain a mental edge. This has been a Netcord News deep dive into the hidden warfare of the Grand Slams. If you want to understand the tactical side of these explosions, check out our Tennis Playbook playlist, where we break down the specific strategies used by the top players to manipulate the flow of the match. The veneer of politeness is thin, and as we've seen today, it only takes 1 point to shatter it completely. The evolution of the sport depends on these moments of friction. Without the meltdowns, we wouldn't have the technological precision of the 2026 era. We wouldn't have the clear boundaries of the modern code of conduct, and we certainly wouldn't have the legendary rivalries that define the sport. Each shattered racket is a monument to the intensity required to play at this level. Each argument with an umpire is a testament to the high-stakes environment where every millimeter matters. As we continue to track the 2026 season, we will be looking for the next trigger, the next moment where the pressure becomes too much and the history of the game is rewritten once again in real time. The court is a theater, and while the tennis is the main attraction, the drama is what keeps us coming back. This is the unseen history, the receipts that the official channels would rather you forget, but that we will continue to investigate point by point until the truth is revealed. The impact of these moments on the youth of the sport cannot be overstated. As the next generation of players watches the veterans navigate these meltdowns, they learn the dark arts of the tour. They see how a well-timed bathroom break can tilt a match. They see how the media reacts to a viral moment. This creates a feedback loop where the drama becomes part of the training. It isn't just about the forehand or the serve anymore, it's about the mental warfare. In the 2026 season, we have seen players who are arguably more famous for their court presence and their outbursts than their actual trophy count. This shift in the sport's DNA is a direct result of the seismic meltdowns of the past. The history of the game is not just a list of winners, it is a list of survivors who managed to navigate the psychological minefield of the Grand Slams without losing their place in the rankings or their mind on center court. The smoking gun of the modern era remains the player's box. As we analyze the footage from the most recent Grand Slams, the focus has shifted from the court to the surrounding support teams. The tension between a player and their coach is often the precursor to a physical meltdown on the court. When the communication breaks down, the performance follows. In the 2026 era, where every word can be picked up by directional microphones, the secret splits are often revealed in the heat of a second-set slump. We've seen coaches walk out mid-match, leaving the player isolated and vulnerable. This is the ultimate tactical nightmare. Without the anchor of the box, the player is left to battle their own demons and their opponent simultaneously. This leads to the most spectacular meltdowns in history, the ones where a player isn't just fighting the umpire, but their own team. As we conclude this investigation, it is clear that the veneer of politeness is a necessary mask for a sport that is inherently violent in its emotional intensity. Tennis is a game of isolation, and in that isolation, the pressure can become unbearable. The meltdowns we have explored are not just failures of character, they are symptoms of a high-pressure system that demands perfection in every moment. The ranking fallout and the prize money penalties are the tools used to keep the players in line, but as long as the stakes remain this high, the explosions will continue. The 2026 season is just the latest chapter in a long history of Grand Slam meltdowns, and as we move forward, the receipts will only become more detailed and the viral breakdowns more intense. Stay tuned to NetCord News as we continue to reveal the hidden tension behind the world's most elite sport, one investigation at a time. The game is changing, the rules are evolving, but the raw, unscripted emotion of a player on the edge will always be the heart of professional tennis.